watching the stream will be best on the actual stream itself, so that I
Yeah, if
can
you watch
see
it
what you're
on
doing.
YouTube, yeah.
Perfect.
And I got you on video too. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to OhTheHermanity. I know you guys have been dying for some Dokkan content. I promise you it's coming. I was sick yesterday. Let me pause this real quick. A little bit of an echo. I was sick yesterday, and I planned on doing some Dokkan streaming, but I will make it up to you this weekend. We will Dokkan the night away. But for now, I got a really cool game I want to introduce you guys to, and I got some of the creators here, Nick and Spencer. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Thanks for having
Doing
us.
good, man. Doing good. I haven't logged into Satoshi's Legion since the beta deployed, so I'm anxious to see all the updates that we have happening here. I'm getting pretty good, though, at keyboard and mouse games because I've been playing a lot of big time, and I feel like there's a lot of similarities with movement style. So I'm not coming in here as a total noob. You know, I'm more of a console guy.
All right. Well, we'll see how far you get, and we'll decide after.
I got this nice baton though. It looks pretty good.
Nice. I love that commander. The camo with the commander goes really well.
Yeah, you know, Spencer hooked me up with this guy. Oh shit. So right now in this beta, it's more or less kind of just like a Smash walkthrough as you guys are building out the rest of the world and the story, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I would go as to say that this is probably what most game developers would consider a pre-alpha. It's just a public version that we released to our community, you know, who's been waiting a long time, really just to get them involved in development, you know, to have something that's early enough that we can actually change things, and we are, you know, we're revamping entire systems still at this point, but, you know, polished enough that it kind of shows the vision for what we're building, including the fact that you can't pause. So don't die.
I died because I was trying to change something on my screen, and I thought I defeated all the enemies that were there, and I didn't.
That's funny.
Is there a block button or like a deflect button?
There is no defensive maneuvers yet, other than as you progress, you have a shield ability. So you can activate your shield ability, which is like an energy-based ability that can either reflect damage or absorb damage. At early levels, you don't have that, but once you get to level 4, you unlock the first one that'll let you kind of, if you're in a pack, deflect damage and not take any.
How do I pop open the menu to see my
it's escape.
Escape. Setting. Oh yeah, so there's shield ability Q, which you said I don't have. And then my and then open interface. What does open interface do?
There you go.
Oh,
So you just tap the. Yeah, I'm on a little lag, but the weapon ability is E, and then, you know, depending on which weapon you're using, the ability will be different. That's a system that's currently being redesigned. The bad guys you're fighting are give a little back context. The defenders of Fiat are kind of the villains in our game. That was a name that our community came up with, which stuck. And they've contracted with this first gang called the Shizoku. And so the first set of kind of minions that you fight are the Shizoku warriors. And one of the things that I think is cool about those is that they're actually all being programmatically varied. So we use some of the tech that we implemented for our avatars to vary, like the avatar skins and whatnot. So that really, you know, the minions are just 2 body types, but we're able to kind of keep the efficiencies and have the kind of the feeling that they're all a little bit different by varying different features and skin color and tattoos and clothing on them, so that they all feel a little bit different. And that's something we're going to keep playing with in the future.
That's good. Oh, my ultimate move does pretty good. So right now, do all the avatars have the same ultimate moves too?
So yeah, so the basically there's a different skill tree.
God, this guy's wrecked me.
Yeah, as you get further, it's tough, especially at the low levels. It's definitely like, I guess that's the roguelike component, right? It's like kind of like Hades. You kill and you die. You kill and you die. You die. You die. You die. But as you get better, you can unlock stuff and get further and further and further into the run. But it has that like arcadey feel because of that. I'd say the most important from like a gameplay right now perspective is movement, and so the space bar dashes and rolls, and so the dash will kind of get you out of those tack situations, and the roll ignores the enemy collider, so you can actually roll out of a pack. And so like if you try to run into a pack and fight them, you're gonna get like it's meant to kind of crush you. But if you use the space bar to kind of dash and roll, right now that's the way that you kind of enter and exit combat within the game.
Basically, my tanky playstyle doesn't work. I gotta.
Not in the early levels. And then there are kind of like AOE abilities towards the end that you'll be able to use. So that's a poison ability that you just use. That'll slow them and create like a damage over time effect for them. But yeah, so each avatar, basically the way it works right now is that as you continue to clear levels and gain experience and whatnot, you can level up certain proficiencies. So there's a bludgeoning, which is the one that starts with the baton. There's a slicing, which is the one that starts with the sword. And then there's a chopping, which is the one that starts with the axe. And so each one's going to have its own, at least in this version, it's going to have its own abilities that go with it. The baton and the bludgeoning is more AOE focused. The slicing is like a cone effect, still somewhat AOE but more powerful. And then the axe has kind of a single target attack that does a lot more damage. And so depending on what you're trying to accomplish within the run and how powerful you are, you might choose a different weapon class to have access to those abilities. But that's something actually that we're reworking now to make it a little bit more dynamic within the run, so that there's this balance. And I grew up on Diablo 3, and that was Diablo 2, Diablo 1, Diablo 3, the latest. But Diablo 3's got something called the Rift, which
I actually cleared a stage.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
What's up, Not for Trade? Says it looks awesome. Dude, look at the attention to detail here, guys. This is crazy. Is there like a zoom feature yet, or?
Not yet. No, yeah. The camera. I mean, you can move the camera with the mouse, but you can only really rotate it around the avatar right now. And so this is kind of the screen you just saw. That's how drops work within the game. So as you clear a sector, that's where you'll be able to see what you got for clearing it. So you can get training data, you can get energy, which is an in-run resource that you can use, and then you've got the NFT drops, which right now are on testnet because we want to make sure we've got everything set and ready to go. But eventually, those NFT drops, you'll find them in game and they'll be in your inventory, and yeah, they'll be NFTs.
And so, what's the overall story here of why I'm killing all these guys with tattoos?
Sure. So the quick version, and we have a 20-something page lore that if people want to dive in on our website, they can. But the quick version.
Read that, so
yeah.
It would be awesome. It's really great lore. Yeah, super interesting to read through.
But the without spoiling too much, the 20,000 foot version is that these defenders of fiat essentially, it kind of mirrors reality a little bit to a certain point. You have the invention of Bitcoin and the blockchain network, a lot of manipulation and governments and bad actors and the kind of traditional aristocracy.
Like this guy right here, we will
trying to shut it down. Exactly. So all the propaganda, it's actually pretty cool. All the propaganda we created using AI, and so it's kind of a combination of our like the story with prompts, but then also taking in the AI and our own, obviously our text and whatnot. But it allows us to kind of have all this cool propaganda around the world. And so this is like DOF, Defender of Fiat propaganda, that uses, so these are the guy you see in that is one of our assets. This guy actually, one of the alpha troopers. But yeah, so the story is that these guys essentially created the pandemic as a means of implementing surveillance technology to really put themselves in a position to take over the world. So after all the surveillance technology was in, they took over, they overthrew all the governments, and they essentially created this divide between kind of the common people and the people who supported them. The common people lived on the outskirts, which is where you are right now. The people who supported the DOF lived in the inner city, and they kind of had this like split. And so the idea is that Satoshi comes back after 20 years as this superhero and leads this rebellion through his legionnaires. And you're essentially piloting your avatar. So that big thing behind you when you start is something called the bioprinter. And so the idea is that it prints your avatar into the world, and then you're remotely piloting your avatar within these outskirts. And the guys you're fighting are a gang that was contracted by the DOF to kind of quash the rebellion and restore peace. But of course, can't have that. We got to beat the DOF. So we are, fighting and clobbering everybody on our way to the boss, which is who you get to after Sector 11. So it takes some time.
Is a boss fight already? That just not good enough to make it there?
There's a boss fight. It probably takes, I'd say the average gamer, probably 10 to 11 hours of progression to actually get to past Sector 11, which is the boss fight. And yeah, it's a pretty cool fight. We've got we haven't released videos of it yet, but people have been posting.
There's no checkpoints, right?
No checkpoints. Yep, that's the roguelike aspect of it, which is that's why I was talking about Diablo. So a good kind of example that we think is a good example and was pretty well designed was the rifts at the end of Diablo 3, kind of that end game progression system where every run you're progressing through different programmatically generated levels in order to beat a boss at the end. It's similar to that in that sense that it's got and Hades as well is the same way, if you're familiar with Hades. It starts at the beginning every time, and in Hades the idea is to get out of hell. In this game it's to get through the outskirts, to clear the outskirts, and then to beat the boss, the final boss at the end. There's going to be 3 bosses before that boss on the way once the game is fully developed.
Man, people have already beaten that in the beta? Have already got that boss?
Yeah, a couple people have beaten Shiyuki, who is the first boss, the first gang leader. And so Shiyuki is the leader of the Shizoku. The Shi translates to death in this case, and so Shiyuki is cold death. Shizoku is the family of death.
That's awesome.
So there's actually some cool stuff in here. So like if you'll see some of the graffiti, like one of them said Jawsy, like that I think we just passed it. But these are actually either assets that were submitted by community members. So we've got community members who designed art and then we applied it as graffiti within the game, or it's people's names, right? Like community members who like participated in one contest. We created some graffiti with their name on it and put it into the game. And so that's one of the things we definitely are working on. If you kind of plug through this, one of the levels later on has a sculpture that we created in collaboration with Trevor Jones, who's a popular crypto artist who created a piece called The Fallen Angel. And so we actually have the Fallen Angel sculpture. One of the things we really want to do is work with other projects, other artists to get some of that kind of crypto native, but not just crypto native, just indie type of artists in here, showcase their work. We're working on an abandoned gallery level that will probably have some really cool art in. So definitely part of our ethos to kind of make sure that the community specifically has a role in the development, but also feels like they're part of the game.
So is there no way, like I've only seen one health replenished spot so far in the first area.
So right now you have 1 energy, so that's not going to do you much good. The energy is the way that you replenish your health. You get energy by clearing a sector, and so when you clear the sector, you'll get some energy points, and that energy can be spent within the run. So by like sector 2 or 3, you usually have enough energy to heal your character 25% of its shield. And so, you know, I will say that the game definitely at early levels, tanking is just like not a viable strategy. You'll die every time, and it's made to be one of those kind of frustrating until you get the hang of it. I was playing Dookie Dash. I don't know if you played that at all, but the new Bored Ape Yacht Club game, and it's kind of silly and it's very like quick, but it has that element where the first 20 times you play it, you die immediately, and it's very frustrating. But as you start to kind of be like, oh, okay, I know what this button does, I know how to react to this, it really starts to be like, oh, okay, I got farther. This isn't as hard as it was when we originally started. So yeah, even doing what you're doing now, like, you know, hit and dive type of strategy.
Yeah, that's kind of, you know, the type of gamer that I am. I'm a grinder, so like every time I die, I'm like, okay, try something else, and it looks like the side dash seems to be working really well for me.
Yep. No, I'm the same way, and I was super tanky in Diablo when I would play that. So it was, you know, it was all right. Like, why can't we tank here? And it's just a matter of, okay, I got to get used to that. This game is more, you know, movement and precision based than just, you know, getting the Amazon and shooting as fast as I could in Diablo.
And Nick, when do you think we're gonna have like the robot companion start having use within the game?
Probably. So there's right now that's in the design phase. It's probably a phase 3 thing, most likely. So it's probably 3 to 4 months. Right now, you'll see the little robot on your back is your companion, Aurora. The idea there is to do some really cool stuff with AI and have her be kind of like an in-game companion that you can ask questions to. But we're also looking at attack functionality, similar to if you've played God of War. Right now, we're thinking about the kid that, you know, accompanies the main character. And yeah, so dude, that's a pack. You gotta. That's one you just gotta grind away at and chop at him.
That's what I was trying to do, but like, I'm still not really good at moving left and right because my fingers want to hit the Q and E instead of the A and D.
Yeah, it's funny. I was at my wife's nephew. We were spending time together, and they were playing the game, and they were actually really good. They were getting to like 8 years old. They were getting to like level, you know, sector 3, sector 4 with the early episodes. I'm like, wow, you guys are crazy. But then they're like bashing the keys, and I'm like, no, not the laptop. It was fun to watch.
Destroying everything.
Yeah, no, but it's fun. I love watching other people play because it's, you know, I've got my grind and my play style, but it's cool to see how, you know, people experience the game for the first time.
Just like practicing not getting hit like once, you know.
Yeah.
There we go. Wrecked all those guys.
And you'll see, so it's the experience. This is another, I think, somewhat frustrating thing in the first couple playthroughs, but it ends up working as you get better. The experience accumulates at the end of the sector, so you have to clear the sector to gain experience. And if you do, if you clear sector 1 like 10 times, you're going to get to the next level. And there's pretty big power spikes between each level. So, you know, if you get to level 2 on your avatar, you're going to feel a lot stronger. You're going to start one-hitting these guys, and it's going to feel like, oh, I'm mowing down packs, until you get to sector 2, in which case you're going to feel that same, you know, difficulty. And so, you know, as you get deeper in, the game kind of scales with you.
That's good. Man, that guy hit me like barely.
Yeah, but you're killing it this run. This is a much better
run.
run.
I'm actually doing pretty good. I got some of my shield left. There's one guy left somewhere. This thing won't open yet.
And you got the mini maps, got the little red dots on it, and that'll tell you where everybody is. And then as soon as the sector's clear, you'll see little green doors.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the sector is clear. I see a green door.
Cool.
It's over here somewhere.
I'm excited to see the golf club in use.
Yeah, I
That's
think
one
a
of
lot
my favorite
of people
weapons.
are waiting to beat people up.
So
with
what is it when I get this shield? Oh, it did. My shield did go up. Nice.
Yeah, so what that'll do is it'll increase your maximum shield by 15%, and also give you a little, I think it's still 15% boost to your actual shield. Like it'll replenish, I think, the same amount that it gives you. So it's a percentage based system that every time you go up, it's so now so this is the sector. The boon, we've been calling it the boon room, kind of using the common roguelike terminology, but it's our kind of sector clear room where you can choose your next upgrade. So depending on which door you go through, that boost will be at the end of the level as your reward.
Oh! Finally! Killed them!
Nice.
I made it! Sorry, I got excited.
No, it's funny because I'm watching the stream, so there's slight delay, and you get super excited. I know something's coming, so yeah.
Finally made it through that area. Alright.
Yeah, so the maps also changed. So we have 12 sectors right now, 12 modules. There's 11 sectors. The early ones have 2 modules in each, and then the later ones have 3. But in the first couple sectors, it's just these street modules. So you'll see a lot of repetition in the first ones. But as you get to sector 4, 5, 6, 7, there's really a ton of variety in the maps. And so it is a little bit, I think, the game definitely opens up a bit as you level up and get further in. I think that's something that we're definitely working on to make that kind of initial experience feel more like a initial polished first play experience, something with potentially a tutorial or getting Aurora to kind of show you around and let you know what to do. But that's going to kind of be stuff that we layer on with the story, as we progress further.
So if anybody wants to play now, can they, or are all those original Satoshi NFTs already out?
So they're all out. We minted the collection about a year ago. Obviously they can be purchased on the secondary market. So if people wanted to play now, they can grab one and get on the secondary market. So our Q1, our late Q1 release is going to be phase 2, and that is going to be open to both Legionnaires and 8-Mo Army avatars. That is, those are a little bit lower price point, cool looking animal, half animal, half human NFTs that you can pick those up. Those are called the 8-Mo Army. So these are called the Legionnaires, Satoshiverse Legionnaires. The other ones are called Satoshiverse, the 8-Mo Army. Those will give you access in about a month and a half. And then we have our collector access period, which is going to be late Q2, and those, so June-ish. Those are going to give I think we have 75,000 currently holders of our collectibles collection. So then, we'll go from probably 2,000 people who are eligible to play to around, 78 to 80,000 people who are eligible to play. And we'll probably do more releases between now and then, including free giveaways. We've been doing a lot of, sign up and get a free giveaway. So in the next few months, there'll be various opportunities to get free stuff. Oh wow, that's a heck of a pack.
That was close. That was really close. Yeah, so I guess for the gamers that are watching right now, I did put the link down in the info section below so that they can go to Satoshiverse and check out the game there. And as far as launching the alpha and getting this thing out there for the masses to play, how far away do you guys think you are from that point? Another 6 months, another year?
Yeah, so the goal here is really to develop with the community. This is kind of our testing and community development phase. I think there's kind of 2 breaking points. There's the one in June where it's basically anyone with a blockchain wallet who wants to is going to be able to get the collectibles. They're super low cost, and we'll be giving more away for free over the next couple months. So if you're following our project, there'll be opportunities to sign up and get a collectible, which will qualify you for the June launch. That's still going to be our alpha phase 3. We've currently got a phase, or our beta release is scheduled for Q3. So we're looking at probably 6 to 9 months before the full game is ready to be released. There will be the plan, at least, is to have a free-to-play version that may actually not require a blockchain wallet. That's something that we're working on, depending on between now and then how easy it is to, we were talking the other day about solutions for back-ending some of the blockchain stuff for users who may not already be up on all the blockchain and the item ownership aspects of it. But we are looking to have this be massively available, and so there are going to be things that we do to make that happen in the next, I'd say, 9 months.
Oh, that's great. And I just realized I can change my weapon. I have a couple of weapons to choose from. Got myself an axe right now.
Yeah,
so what do you think the playability of the game is going to be there, where you'll start to see NFT drops as well? And is there any co-op opportunity that you guys want to do in the future too?
So there's definitely, so you can currently get NFTs in the game. They're just on testnet. So what basically you find is materials, and those materials can be used in our DApp to evolve the weapons. And so when you evolve a weapon, you get the NFT version of that weapon. It's got stats, it's got boosts. It's kind of that RPG item feel that most people are used to, who like RPGs. And then, you must have leveled up.
I was going to say, how am I killing these guys so easily?
Yeah, you must have leveled up. Cool. Yeah, so now you're with the
Dude, these guys are just getting absolutely throttled, getting axed right in the face. This is that meme from that Netflix show, the axe hatchet wielding hitchhiker. Boom, boom.
Yep,
boom,
taking him out.
That's
awesome.
That was funny. Dude, I was very surprised. That was nice. It felt nice to level up.
So I think that's kind of it was so hard for me to get used to that, given my play style in the beginning. But if you suck a lot in the beginning and then you level up and you're good, it's like, oh wow, like I feel this, right? Instead of you run into a game and it's too easy and you just slaughter everything. It's like, all right, like that can get boring sometimes. So we did design this to definitely be a bit of a grind in the beginning, but I think as you start to play, as you start to learn, it's like, oh wow, there really are like strategies and things that we can do to not die in the first level and to get further. And so this is one of the, I think you've been to this map before, but see, now you're not one-hitting everything because each sector the enemy difficulty scales up. Yep. So a level 2 is going to be able to beat level 1 pretty easily, but not sector 2 as easily.
Yeah, I totally abandoned my strategy there because I wanted to see just how much stronger I was. These guys are like paper right now, Bam.
Crushed. But you got some experience, so that's good. And then you'll be able to, you keep doing that, and then as you clear levels, right? Like, so the experience scaling is also something we're working on, but as it stands now, if you are able to get good and beat, let's say, a level 2 beats sector 4, you level up pretty quickly because sector 4 gives a lot more experience than sector 3 or sector 2. So you're gonna level up a lot just by getting a little bit deeper.
That's good, yeah. So you can almost level grind faster if you're a better player, or if you have a better strategy. That's awesome.
For sure. So just to answer the question you asked before, the NFT, like the real NFT item. So right now, if you play the game, there's 2 things you can find in the game that actually will translate to a real NFT. So they're essentially like prizes. After you get past sector 5, so starting with sector 6, you can find either a Legionnaire or an 8 Army blueprint. And if you have those, at the end of our Alpha Phase 1, we're going to airdrop anybody with that blueprint, a Legionnaire avatar or an 8 Army avatar. So you'll be getting the avatars. The avatars holding them allows you to.
Is it a random drop, or do I gotta find it like in a building or something?
So no, so all drops currently occur at the end of the sector. So on that screen, when you clear the sector, if you do get a drop, and they are very rare generally, but if you do get a drop, it'll be on the left side where it says data acquired. There'll be either something that says augmentation, and those are the NFT like basically like gems. You might think of them as runes in other games that power up weapons and allow you to evolve them. Or you'll see a picture of a hologram of a 8 Low Army avatar or a Legionnaire, and those are the ones that actually at the end you'll win. We got a guy who's stuck. Fell into the cement. That's
oh shit! It's getting spicy.
Yeah, so there's definitely stuff you can find. I think that's one of the key things that we're building out in the game is the item system and the character progression. One of the cool things here is that all of your experience, like your level, your avatar level, is going to be stored in the avatar metadata. So if you go to sell your avatar, you can sell, like let's say you played it for 2 months and got it to the highest level. You've now got an NFT that is a level 60 or whatever it might be, Legionnaire. So that's going to carry with it value. So it creates that kind of free transferability that you would have probably had to go to the black market and sold your account in order to do before. Yeah, the minimum cost I think on those charging stations is 50. So once you get 50 energy, you're able to get the power up.
And this is the screen right here. Hey, what's up, Lewis? This is the screen right here that would show a drop if I got something right.
Yeah. So I'm still seeing a little bit behind you, but I'm assuming at the end of the level, yep, that would be the one.
Yeah, the sector clear.
The sector clear, exactly. So that one on the left side with the data acquired has the drops when you get them.
Man, I lost way too much energy in that last battle.
Yeah,
guys,
so
please come at me one at a time.
it's funny. We're one of the things we're really working hard on is so this mob mechanic is something that I'd say by my standards it's not quite there yet. And so one of the things
hit.
you get crushed.
Yeah, I got one-shotted. It's okay. It's all right. It happens.
One of the things we're working on is it's actually probably going to make it a little bit harder, but they'll fan out more and they'll flank you more. So there'll probably be less of them, but you'll have to be like more strategic about the movement so that you don't get a huge mob fighting you all at the same time. It's going to be more of a flanking system and a spread out system where you'll be able to do one-on-one a little bit more, but they'll be coming at you in different directions.
Yeah, you'll dash to the left and then appear right in front of somebody else about to crack you, and then you're dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think especially once more the movesets come out and I'm able to start leveling up my character and getting more special abilities, it's going to be the combination of my playstyle with those special abilities. It's going to allow me to really push through. Because the type of game, I'm not patient. I'm not a patient gamer, so for right now, for me to get pretty far, I'd have to be very patient, do a hit, run around, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just not me. That's why I'm only making it to level 3.
Same way, man. So my advice to you and a little bit of alpha is if that's your play style, use the sword. The sword is probably, because of the ability that triggers at level 2 with the training point, the sword is one of the more OP things right now because it's got this flame ability. So if you want to go to the avatar screen where you select all your stuff, I'll show you how to level up the ability. It looks like you have 10 energy, or 10 training data, so we can level up one of the abilities. And
well, I got for slicing it says the Bakken.
Yeah, exactly. So do we? Are you there now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, when you go to that training, I'm just gonna wait for it to catch up on my end. But when you go to that training thing and you hit the slicing, there's a thing that says allocate training data, and or allocate TG under the level 1 line, and that's going to let you take the 10 training data that you currently have and allocate it to that particular weapon type. So once you do that, it'll be level 2, and then you can select a weapon ability, which is what a really good one is Heat Wave. And once you have Heat Wave, you're going to be able to fry things, and I think that'll cater a lot more to your play style. So yeah, if you won't.
I think it's I don't think level 2 has Heat Wave because it's not showing up.
Yeah, it's one of the bugs we have right now is it's not. So you can try hitting that refresh button in the top left corner of the screen where it says bioprinter. But then if not, you can exit out of the bioprinter and go back in. We do have a couple bugs right now that we're working through with the auto refresh of the
Oh yeah, here we go.
game
Heat
screen.
Wave is there now.
So that one I think you'll like. You should do a run with the sword and Heat Wave, and
that's when you push E, right? That's your weapon.
That's when you push E, exactly. And so herd them up a little bit, get a little group, and then face them and do Heat Wave. And I think you're gonna like the result.
All right, let me get to the hard guys. I like to burn. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, the burn. I definitely became like super accustomed to playing with the sword because I love this ability, and it definitely helps if you're less patient because you can kind of get mobs, get away from them, and then torch them all.
Oh, very nice, toasty. And how often can you use your special ability?
So there's a 1 minute cooldown currently. Again, something we're tweaking. But there is going to be a item based or boon based, so upgrade based at the end of the level cooldown reduction. So you'll be able to reduce that cooldown and use that ability more often if you have items that give you cooldown reduction, or if you get that as your power up at the end of the level. But yeah, we're completely again a little bit something we're working through is making some of the power ups like the fire, the burn, or the abilities things that can be earned during the run. So not necessarily something that you always select at the beginning of the run, but you can kind of scale up those abilities as you play, which I think is fun and kind of adds to that roguelike component where every run is supposed to feel a little bit different, and the early levels don't quite have that yet, but the maps are randomly selected. So if you do a complete run through Sector 11, you're going to get a different sequence of maps than you would, otherwise. In the future, there'll be multiple gangs, and so which gangs you encounter and when is going to be random. And so the idea is to really have that feeling of when you go to an arcade and you play a game and it's got kind of, you're playing a game for the first time each time, right? So it's a little bit different. You get better at the game, but go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say kind of like the old school side scrollers where they're not like Turtles in Time. They're kind of just coming out randomly.
Exactly. It has that, again, like Diablo's riffs were really, I thought, it's interesting because Blizzard spent, millions and millions and millions of dollars on building what I thought was an awesome game, and with lots of, quests and all that stuff. But at the end of the game, once you beat the story, you get to these rifts, and that's the grind, and people have fun playing and doing that grind and finding items. And there's a difficulty progression system, which is something that we're working on implementing. There's a, kind of a leaderboard to see who's gotten the furthest in the fastest amount of time. So those will probably see some of the early implementations of player versus player, those single player, who can do it the fastest, who can get the furthest on the highest difficulty. But in the future, whether it's in this game or through a connected, metaverse type experience, we definitely want to have more, social experiences and multiplayer components. But this game is kind of meant to have that, Witcher or, Elder Ring type of single player playthrough that can then be expanded upon.
Yeah, no, I think this is great, guys. I'm really excited to see how the game progresses. All the new weapons get added, the leveling up system, NFT drops, the leaderboards, all of that. I think this is incredible, and I had fun just kind of grinding and dying for the last 40 minutes. So I know, I know as the game progresses, it'll obviously become more fun. You got different characters, different outfits for your characters, different weapons to try out. This is the kind of stuff you want to see, like to have a playable beta at this point where, there's a lot of games out there that are trying to just build, this immersive metaverse, but there's really no story. I like that you guys have a story and a play style that gamers obviously are attracted to, right? Like sometimes it's cool to see how far you can get on one life. That's the type of gamer that really enjoys grinding, and then like you said, as you level up your character, the earlier levels get easier, so you can make it to, you know, like for me, once I level up to level 3, I'll get to that 5th area probably finally, and then get my ass kicked again, and then I gotta, and then I gotta level up some more and try to get even further. So, I think that's really cool. I think the game is great, and I'm glad you guys have allowed me to jump in here and play through it and continue to play through it too.
Cool, man. Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. I think, we're working hard, and it's always great to hear good feedback. Even the feedback of I hate this is good for us, because we can, like we said, it's early enough that we're redesigning things, that we're figuring things out, that we're taking suggestions from the community and incorporating them. So, we're always keen on the feedback for sure.
No, hell yeah, guys. Well, thank you so much for jumping on the YouTube channel, coming in live today to, Spencer talked so much during the entire stream.
I
It was
know.
hard to shut him up.
Once Nick is going, it's hard to get a word in,
Yeah, sorry about that. That's my MO these days.
That's okay, dude. No, it's great because we want to hear, we want to hear from you, Nick. We want to hear from the guy that's really, behind this thing day in day out. Of course, Spencer is too, but sometimes it's nice, just sit and smile. I like to do that sometimes.
I had a great time just watching. This is great.
Right. I saw you actually smiling like every time I died. You're like, ha, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, Spencer's on a Mac, so he hasn't gotten in yet and played it. So we gotta get Spencer.
I know. I just been watching. Yeah.
We gotta get him
We
a
gotta
PC.
get this man
so
a
he can get in there and
PC.
grind.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll download Parallel. It'll probably crash my entire computer, but maybe it'll work.
Yeah, exactly. You'll just lose everything. I'm
Yeah.
sick. That's okay though. You know what though? Spencer almost beat me in my game. Almost. He got so close. He almost tasted victory, and then he didn't.
You didn't give him one?
No, dude, he almost got me too. I was getting worried. I was like, oh shit.
It came down to like probably the last like 5 seconds. If there was another like 5 seconds left in the clock, I probably would have gotten it.
Yeah, he was using a strategy that I had not seen before, and I was like, oh, dude, he might win. I need to start going hard, man.
Yeah, you can't lose at your own game, man.
No, you can't. It's terrible. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, as more updates come out for Satoshiverse, Satoshi's Legion, let me know. We'll jump back on here, and we'll showcase it for everybody to see, and just continue the gameplay, and hopefully I can start to get a little further.
Awesome, man. Well, really appreciate you having us on, and happy to jump on whenever you want. And I'm excited to see what we can do together.
Yeah, man. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning into the stream. If you have any questions, I put the link to the website down in the info section below. I'll add these guys on Twitter as well, but it'd be easiest to reach out through the website, obviously. And yeah, obviously you can reach out to me too, of course. But we'll be back with some more streaming later this week, more Satoshi's Legion as these guys provide more updates. And until then, we'll see you next time. See you guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, and we are no longer live.
Cool. That was awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, Spencer.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, you have most of the stuff to say anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I would love to get you playing a little bit more and in there, because it's
Yes,
once you get in there, it's fun. But yeah, you help more on the other side of things, the important stuff on the business side and communication. So I think it was good to just be able to run with it today. But that was awesome.
Yeah, no, I think it went really well.